a stage where young guns rise, dreams ignite, and champions are born. This is the road to the future of Philippine basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, or good afternoon rather. We are live from the MetPark Sports Center in the vibrant city of Pasay, and this is the 2025 National Developmental Sports League Basketball Series. And this time, we're in our fourth game of the day. This time, 25 and under division, big boys, men rather, will play basketball in front of us. KNZL Believers facing Smash Basketball. As again, Smash Basketball, great performance so far this season. On the other hand, KNZL not so much, but let's see if it'll be a different outcome for today's game. Once again, this is Cholo Pangilinan calling the action with Coach Noy Africa and Jana Zaplan at the sidelines. And we shall now turn it over to our venue announcer, the Ryan Pajaro, for the start of the game. The starting five for KNZL basketball, it's Reed Buckley, Christian Kamay, Eris Romero, Earl Sieniza, and Joshua Villamor. On the other hand, Smash Basketball, it's Rafael Flores, Nathan Gonzalez, Bragais, Zipagan, and Patrick Garcia.
Well, easily, this is the smallest front line in this entire tournament. This Villamor Chris Kamay combination for KNZL, as they also draw first blood.
KNZL able to plant their flag. Reed Buckley in transition, fumbles that lay-in. Zipagan tried it off the glass, won't work. Gonzalez still no good. Kamay grabs the rebound.
Well, this should be an entertaining matchup as both teams will look to run and gun.
Smash Basketball, another club-based team that again played very well, at least so far in this tournament. Their first win in this tournament was against the Adamson Soaring Falcons, getting that upset. On the other hand, KNZL usually goes by the name of the Ama University Kings. But for this tournament dons a different jersey, dons a different name. And it is a mix actually of juniors and senior players from AMA.
This is actually the second matchup between these two teams today, having met each other earlier in the 19 and under division, with Smash Basketball smashing the gallant five of the KNZL Believers.
But looks like it's a different situation on the bench right now of KNZL. I'm sure the big boys of KNZL looking to avenge their younger brothers. And we can see that their 19 and under counterparts watching this game. As Flores knocks down that three.
Of course, expect the Tianzel believers look to push in transition. And of course, they do shoot a lot of threes.
That is the Coach Mark Herrera trademark. Meanwhile, Baklig getting hit on his way to the iron. 2 freebies coming up for Reed.
Of course, Reed Baklig, I've been covering this kid for the past few years, and I feel like he's just one step away from getting to the next level. He's a very experienced player, plays excellent on ball, and reads the passing lanes well. And also on the offensive end, he can get his points inside the paint through his incursions, and probably needs to develop a better ability of hitting the long ball.
Sky's the limit for someone like Reed Baklig. Meanwhile, that guy, Rafael Flores, already rich in experience. Last season played for Manila SV Batang Sampaloc in the MPBL. I believe the oldest player in that Smash Basketball roster at 25.
Well, you do need those the veteran experience to be a leader by example on and off the floor, on how the game is played, especially at the highest level.
3 minutes passing by chapter 1. We have a deadlock at 5. 14 to shoot for Kianzel basketball.
I don't think there's anyone on the 5 for Kianzel who is 6 feet. Chris Kamay playing the 5 at best at 5'11".
Seniza dancing. Earl going to work. 1 to shoot. Fades away. No good for Seniza. Kamay gets it back. He'll draw the foul.
Probably the smallest center in the 25 and under division, but Chris Kamay makes up for the lack in height with his activity and work rate.
At the line, Christian Kamay. First one is no good. Second one on its way for the sophomore. Played his second season in the AMA University Kings last season.
But he has long been a part of the Mark Herrera system, together with his teammates currently on the floor.
Patrick Zoilo enters the game for Smash Basketball. If you've watched their previous games, you know he's one of the guys to really light it up from deep.
Very important for Kianzel to be able to locate the shooters of Smash Basketball.
Inside, stolen by Villamor. Forward dish. Baklig, high pass to Kamay. Oh, he steps out of bounds. Sloppy mistake.
Probably caused by that quite wayward high pass.
Four minutes passing by chapter 1. Low scoring game so far. Zipagan will fire. Won't work. They get it back. Gonzalez inside. Using some muscles.
And definitely Gonzalez will make a living inside, especially with the lack of ceiling of this Kianzel squad.
Romero misses the mark. Double foul called between, I believe, Kamay and Bragais.
Very important for Kamay to watch his fouls, cannot afford to get into foul trouble.
$14 to shoot. Romero will bring it out. Seniza fires for a 3. That's what he can do.
He's definitely one of the resident scorers for this Kianzel squad.
Basket counts. Rafael Flores will be going to the line. A chance to make it a three-point play. The veteran experience being used right here by Flores.
At that time, able to absorb the contact coming from Reed Baklig.
Flores also played for Team 1 Munti in the 2024 President's Cup of the Philippines Super League. All tied up at 9. Ceniza, nowhere to go. Stolen by Bragais. In transition, Charles Vega, 2 points. On the other side, Villamor, no good. Kamay puts it back in.
I think Rich Kamay got away with a push, getting that putback.
Flores to the corner, Zoilo. Inside, Gonzalez. No foul call, rebound Ceniza. The Pearl has the basketball. He'll get fouled downstairs.
Well, I'm pretty sure Bill Velasco already told you the story about that moniker, going old school with that Earl the Pearl Monroe reference.
Well, he's worthy of that name, given that, again, you said it, he's a resident scorer of that team.
But again, the problem for Kianzel, the 5 on the floor, this is pretty much their experienced lineup. So the minute they go deep into the bench, there's a slight drop in skill level, in experience, that really makes it hard for them to keep up with the big boys of the NDSL.
They even have, I believe, juniors players on that roster. They have rookie Cian Gulioso and Rosfer Palad. Of course, Cian Gulioso, the youngest player to play in the PBA D-League. At that time, Gonzalez gets the shot to go. Baklig, blocking foul on Vince Tibang.
A little too aggressive that time, trying to stop Reed Baklig from getting to the basket.
And he'll have to take care of the foul situation. Vince Tibang is another sniper for Smash Basketball.
Smash Basketball now in the penalty with 3:40 remaining in the first.
First one goes in for Baklig. Two out of two for Reed. And in the meantime, we'll be turning it over to our courtside reporter, Jana Zaplan.
Coach Tupper of the Smash basketball team didn't hide his and the team's disappointment with how the last game played out, but emphasized that the team came prepared today. Miscommunication on both offense and defense, along with the opponent's height advantage, played a big role in their struggle from yesterday's match against St. Clair. Still, regardless of who they face, Coach Tupper reminds his players to keep training the right way. Past as past, he said, urging the team to pour everything into this game. With a complete lineup and hunger to bounce back, they're eager to prove they can compete even against school-based programs. Adjustments have been made beyond the starting five with strong focus on tightening their defense and showing they belong at this level despite being a club-based team. Cholo and Coach Noy.
Thank you very much, Jana, for that report. And again, yes, since they are a club-based team, people will always perceive them as the underdogs. But certainly, again, they've been really performing very well so far this tournament.
Well, in this game, they do not have to worry about the height disadvantage because clearly they are the team now with that advantage.
Vega at the middle, stolen by Villamor. Baklig is running. Baklig. That's another day in the office for Reed.
We used to call him Reed the Speed Baklig with his ability to get back, to get out in the open court.
That actually sounds nice and fire. So I'll call him that, the Speed. Not that time for Reed. Zoilo attacks. Zoilo. Patrick Zoilo giving his opponents a Zoilution.
Now you see me, now you don't.
2-point lead for Smash. Ceniza dancing. Earl. Not that time for the Pearl. Tibang in transition. Tibang to Patrick Zoilo. He'll get fouled.
More importantly, that should be the second personal foul on Chris Kamay.
Another look on what just happened a while ago. Ceniza missing that shot would have brought the house down. And on the other side, Zoilo getting fouled. Nevertheless, Ceniza breaking the ankles of his opponent. Again, that's what he can do.
Of course, you have to complete the highlight with the basket.
First one is good for Patrick Zoilo. Rocking that no socks style. Alan Mangaha style.
But with the short shorts.
Not the best pair. But as long as he makes the shot, why not? Dawis, no good at the pull-up. Palad now in the game.
Well, Dawis did have a good second half yesterday. Let's see if he can build on that today.
Baklig, or rather Ceniza, fighting for it with Andre Vega. As we're now seeing Palad in the game, say with Dawis. By the way, Palad holding the scoring record for the most points in a NASCO Juniors game with 109. Meanwhile,
I don't see that being broken anytime soon.
109 is crazy. Tibang for three. Bingo! That's what they need.
That could be the kind of separation that they need, as that lead is now up to 7.
Ceniza receiving that. Dawis will fire. And they will need the production of that guy. Meanwhile, what a pass from Zoilo to Gonzalez, or rather Maglalang.
Just getting that basketball delivered at the right place at the right time. All Maglalang had to do was rise up and finish.
Another Zoilution right there as Maglalang a chance to make it a three-point play. And he makes it. 11-point game. Correction, 10-point game. Meanwhile, Baklig, not that time.
So again, Reed Baklig, you really need him to force tempo for this Kianzel squad.
First one is good for the speed. 13 seconds remaining. 9-point game, a chance to make it 8. Reed goes 1 out of 2. Shot clock is off, but that's out of bounds. So another chance for the boys of KNZL to make something happen. Ceniza for sure is trying to get free. Kamay inside. Kamay trying to make something happen. He does.
Just created enough space to be able to go up for that shot.
And that concludes our opening period. Smash Basketball able to make some insurance. 26-19, 7-point lead for them. And we'll be back for more action for the second period. This is once again the NDSL Basketball Series. Back to the action here for the start of our second period. 26-19, 7-point insurance for Smash Basketball. But I'm sure KNZL have other things in mind. Ceniza just trying to heat up. Baklig trying to find his rhythm. And for sure, once they do, it's going to be difficult for Smash.
Definitely you expect whenever Kianzel needs to go to the bench. The experience probably going to be an issue, as that was when the Smash Basketball was able to make the run, and that's why they have this 7-point advantage.
Here we go. First possession of the second period. TNZL. Kamay inside. Sends it out. Baklig attacks. He'll draw another foul.
That's what you get, especially with Baklig and Seniza on the floor. They put pressure on the defense, forcing them into fouls.
Baklig attacks. Drops it. Palad. Outside to Kamay. Shot clock down to 6. Dawis. Nowhere to go. Kamay again. He'll attack. The floater. No good for Christian. And there's a foul against Kianzel.
And if that's on Kamay, that will be number 3.
Almost a minute passing by, chapter 2. Smash a chance to make this double digits. Maglalang up top. Zoilo at the right corner. Now it's Tibang. Puts on the moves. He attacks. What a move from Vince Tibang.
The adjustment in mid-air and able to get that ball up and in right before he landed.
Stolen by Gonzalez. Zoilo drops it. Maglalang finishes.
It's like the way Zoilo also making it a point to set up his teammates.
Seniza. Stolen by Zoilo. Body's on the floor on the other side. But you gotta love the sportsmanship shown. Timeout called by Coach Judah Villamor as they are trailing by 11 points. Almost 2 minutes passing by our second chapter. We'll be back for more. Go back to the game. 11-point lead for Smash Basketball. Almost 2 minutes passing by our second period. There seems to be a call favoring Smash Basketball with freebies.
I think the last foul was upgraded into an unsportsmanlike foul. There's that strip by Zoilo.
Again, it's not about the intention, but the technicality of what just happened. That's something our players will have to understand.
And it's funny how Zoilo, despite diving into his bench, came up with a big smile right after.
That's one way to be positive. Meanwhile, Smash setting up their cards. Zoilo inside. Gonzalez. No good. Seniza with the rebound. Forward pass to Baklig. Reed drops it. Beautiful execution in transition for Kianzel.
I like how Reed Baklig, he can go all the way, but the unselfishness of trying to set up his teammates.
Gonzalez, third time's the charm.
Again, they're going to have a field day with a small front line of Kianzel. More points in the paint coming for Smash Basketball.
Seniza going to work. Turn the ball over. Zoilo. What a pass. Another Zoilution. But Maglalang disappoints. Nevertheless, his teammate will put it in. Villanueva, 2 points.
Right now, that lead is at its highest at 15.
Ceniza unable to stop the mess. Tibang in transition. Tibang. What a move coming from Vince Tibang.
Right now with the second string players on the floor for Kianzel, Smash Basketball just making a living inside the paint.
Reed taking his time. Losing it again. Zoilo in transition. Zoilosity.
I think he only has one speed that is fast.
That's Patrick Zoilo for you. Meanwhile, Ceniza and friends in trouble. Here we go. Tibang. Off the board. Safe shot for Vince Tibang.
Well, right now, Ceniza and friends, they don't seem like they're friends as they're trying to play one-on-one.
That is the case. Hopefully that'll change as they're trailing by 19 points right now. But we're seeing some new faces for Kianzel. Cian Galioso entering the game. Another known scorer on the side of Kianzel. Hopefully he can contribute big time. Again, youngest player to ever play in the PBAD League.
First time that no one from the starting five of Kianzel on the floor.
Inside Villanueva. He's just too big.
Well, if the first five of Kianzel is small, they just got smaller with this five on the floor.
Palad unable to stop the drought.
And imperative right now for Kianzel to try and force some turnovers, make this a foot race, mainly because they have a really small five on the floor.
Gulioso, 2 points on that fadeaway.
It's still a huge 21-point advantage for Smash.
Inside, no good on the jump shot. Agustin gets it back, but it's out of bounds.
A little too much sauce on that power dribble, losing the basketball.
Here comes Palad. So Kianzel has a Kamay, they also have a Palad. But this time, only Palad is required to make something happen. He's on the floor. Actually, another candidate for them to look forward to.
They do have a Kamay, a Palad, but they need someone at least a foot longer. As they get a little bit of height as we have Canlas checking in.
Kianzel now with a possession. Over 4 minutes remaining in our quarter number 2. Quite a slow couple of sequences. Nevertheless, a chance for Kianzel to stop the momentum of Smash. Dawis goes right. Palad fades away. No foul call, greatly defended by Smash. Flores back in the game. Flores inside, Pimentel, Butterfingers.
That would have been an easy basket, but just unable to catch that pass.
Sayat finally falls for Kianzel.
Lucky bounce, 2 points nonetheless.
Outside from deep. It's a miss, rebound by Dawis. Golioso handling the leather. Great fight inside, but won't end up in 2 points. They'll get it back. Golioso, mid-range jumper. Won't fall. Put back is good.
Definitely a talent that they have to develop having a big man to man the paint for them.
They swing it around. Inside, Villanueva gets fouled. 2 free throws. And I think this Kansas squad is missing the services of Justin Elduayan.
Oh yeah, most definitely having that youthful exuberance together with a freakish athleticism. Someone they could use, especially in a game like this where their offense really pretty stagnant.
First one goes in for Villanueva. 2 out of 2 for the big guy. Showing some consistency as Patrick Garcia enters the game. Kansas in a tough position. They're down by 19. Dawis pulls up, finally hits.
Hopefully that could build some momentum for him, as almost caught napping was a Kianzel defense.
Garcia tried to hustle for it. The possession will go with Kianzel, as Golioso will be the one to bring it down. Golioso stops, puts one up. Another foul called on Smash. More opportunities for Kianzel at the line.
Great recognition by Golioso, seeing the defender sag off him, giving him that open lane, quick to attack and able to fish for a foul.
First one is good for Cian Golioso. Second one coming his way. 1 out of 2. 16-point lead for Smash. Flores thought about the 3. Flores. No good. Oh. Ambrosio climbing up the ladder for that rebound and put back attempt. Nevertheless, he'll be shooting 2 free throws.
We're going to expect Smash to continue attacking the boards, especially on the offensive end. That's, again, that height advantage, something that they can try and utilize.
Ambrosio makes it. 18-point lead for Smash. Golioso to Dawis. Dawis changing gears, fades away. He makes it.
Now back-to-back hits for Dawis.
They need him. Ambrosio. No good for Agustin. Golioso pulls down the rebound. Sayat is running. Eyes on the prize for him. Not that time, but there's a foul.
Little forced on that penetration, but they're able to fish for a foul. Baseline out of bounds for Kianzel.
Over a minute remaining. Palad, nowhere to go. Finds Canlas outside. Golioso to Palad. Shot clock down to 8. Palad outside. Dawis for 3. He won't hit. Rebound Agustin. Flores, high pickup. He scores 2.
High pickup, high step, change of pace, enough to create the space for that finish.
Was looking for a foul as well. Palad snatches it back. Golioso is outside. Inside is Sayat. Forces the issue. Turns the ball over.
A little wild on the finish.
Timeout called by Coach Richmond Boleche. As we have 18 seconds remaining in our second chapter. 18-point lead for them. We'll be back for more. 18 seconds remaining in our second chapter. 18-point lead for Smash. And a chance to further extend it.
You can see just how important they treat every possession, even with an 18-point advantage, 18 seconds left in the first half. They call a timeout just to map out a play.
Ten seconds remaining. Flores goes right. High pass. Pimentel catching that one. What a catch and what a basket for Pimentel. Full court heave. And that ends our first half. 52-32. Smash Basketball enjoying this 20-point lead. And not the best situation for NDSL Basketball, as we'll take another look on that move off the game. Recently, just that Pimentel basket. Again, great catch, maintaining composure, showing patience, and then sinking that bucket, leading to that 20-point lead for Smash Basketball. And there you have it. We'll be back for more. We'll take a short break. And at the half, it's 52-32. As we're beginning our third period, again, Smash Basketball so far with a dominant performance. A very comfortable lead, but again, still early. KNZL can still make things happen. So if you're Smash Basketball, you'll have to be wise with your decisions.
Well, in that second quarter, they were able to outscore KNZL 26-13, leading the way in scoring for them. Vincent Tibang with 11, Rafael Flores with 10, while for the other side, it's Reed Baklig leading KNZL with 8 points. Make that 10.
Speaking of Baklig, he makes the fadeaway as KNZL plants their flag for the first 2 points of the game, but quickly Patrick Flores responds. Rafael Flores rather responds.
Another thing going for Smash Basketball, they forced KNZL into 10 turnovers, scoring 19 points off those turnovers.
Meanwhile, Ceniza hits a 3.
Well,
Who knows? He may be on a roll already.
yeah, that's something that Smash Basketball has to be wary of. This team can hit threes in bunches. Guys like Romero, Baklig, even Ceniza. So no lead is safe.
Romero, forward pass. Ceniza has it. To the other side, Baklig. Villamor, jump shot. 2 more points for KNZL.
So right now the offense beginning to hum for KNZL, but they have to do it on both ends of the floor.
To the other side, Zoilo. Not that time. That was Maglalang. Meanwhile, putback is no good as well from Zipagan. Villamor the spin. Villamor the scoop. And the harm. A chance that we get a 3-point play for Joshua Villamor.
So in that play, had to use the spin twice. The spin move first, and the English to get that ball up and in.
And as he takes his freebie, we'll be turning it over to our courtside reporter, Jana Zaplan.
Coach Chuda shared before the game that the KNZL Believers seniors, led by a fired-up and focused Believers, were ready for the challenge. With a more complete roster than the juniors earlier, the seniors came in prepared, though the team still needs to raise their level to close the gap against tougher opponents like Smash Basketball. Now entering the second half, they've gone back to their starting five with a renewed focus on execution. What stands out is the team's communication. Players are speaking up, raising their voices on the floor, and showing signs of growing leadership. If they can keep this energy and clarity, they just might shift the momentum in their favor. Cholo and Coach Noy.
Thank you very much, Jana. And indeed, a lot of tasks will need to be done for Smash, or rather for KNZL Basketball. But right now, so far, looking better than their previous quarters, as Baklig won't score.
And communication is going to be key here for KNZL. Great stop from Kamay.
Smash Basketball will retain possession. Zipagan will trigger the inbound. Inside. Foul on the floor. Smash Basketball. They have 10 to shoot. Inside, Vega, the spin. Beautiful move. Just couldn't finish.
Everything but the basket that time.
14-point gap. Very manageable if you're KNZL. Baklig goes left. Reed fades away. And one. Reed Baklig with a rainbow.
Again, this is a very potent five for KNZL, especially on the scoring end. Reed Baklig, Earl Ceniza can put baskets in a hurry, and that time even with a tight contest, even got hit on the shooting arm, still able to convert is Reed Baklig.
Bonus freebie for the speed. Sadly will miss nevertheless. They have momentum. 12-point gap. Flores goes right. Stops. Sends it out. Pimentel. Inside. Vega. Not that time. No one was there to pick up Gonzalez.
Whenever they choose to pound the ball in the paint, always a very high success rate.
Ceniza for three. Bingo!
And that's why it's really scary to play against the Kianzel believers.
Meanwhile, Ceniza high pass. Baklig, the speed. Villamor finishes.
Joshua Villamor, whenever he jumps, you could just see him elevate. So you've got the speed and the elevation for Kianzel.
Rafael Flores stopping the fun of KNZL. It's back to double digits. As we're nearing the 5-minute mark of Chapter 3, the speed. Changing gears, jumps it to Villamor. 4-point swing for Joshua Villamor.
Nothing spectacular about the game of Joshua Villamor, but just does enough to be effective.
Meanwhile, Flores tried to stop the fun. But it's now a 9-point game. Very manageable for Romero and friends.
Now they're playing like they're friends. And that's
This
why-
time.
That's why they managed to cut the gap to just 9 points.
Another look on that Reed Baklig pass. Villamor not disappointing his teammate. And of course, the second one, another Baklig to Villamor connection. Ceniza, contested three, it doesn't matter. The Pearl lighting it up from deep. And with that, the lead is only at 6 points for Smash Basketball. We'll be back for more. Go back to the action. KNZL finding the groove. Cuts the lead of Smash to just 6 points. Tibang enters the paint. Gives it outside. Pimentel. He attacks. Great defense from Kamay.
You know, very underrated. The rim protection abilities of Chris Kama. He may be small, but he is able to make those stops.
Oh! The Pearl making some waves.
Right now, Smash Basketball just might be hitting the panic button.
Gonzalez finally stops that fire. But Villamor not stopping anytime soon.
No one there getting back on defense. Joshua Villamor taking flight once again.
Zoilo unable to answer back with a three. Zoilo one more time. Still won't fall. Villamor, great find.
Oh,
Just couldn't finish was Reed. You can see the dismay on his face. Pimentel. Oh my goodness, what handles shown.
being able to still make that pass. I thought he was a little out of control.
Romero. Kamay looking to provide a pick. He does. Romero to inside. Kamay, that's good.
Right now, that Smash Basketball defense looking mighty porous.
Tibang won't waste any time.
Tibang with a bang.
And elevates that lead again to 6 points. Villamor again. Ceniza goes right. Fades away. Bingo! The Pearl! What a move. What a shot.
Just toying with the defense, looking like James Harden using that screen from Kamay.
What a shot for Earl Ceniza, bringing out the boom. Four-point play completed by the Pearl.
And like we said right at the start of this quarter, no lead is safe. And that lead is down to just 2 points.
Over 2 minutes remaining, KNZL coming alive in this third period. Ceniza, Baklig, Villamor, everybody contributing. Even Christian Kamay with his defense.
Again, it's really this 5 on the floor. That's very effective for KNZL. The problem is when they have to go to the bench, who is going to step up for them?
Meanwhile, great contest coming from Romero. He'll be the one to bring it down. Baklig this time. Reed. Kamay at the middle. Back to Reed outside. Baklig to Ceniza for 3. Won't work. It'll stay with KNZL.
Most definitely, Earl Ceniza earned the right to take that heat check.
And Smash will have to put a target on Ceniza's back. Romero to Villamor. Joshua outside. Baklig. He has 8 seconds. Kamay provides the pick. Baklig for 3. Won't hit.
Okay, that was a little forced for Reed Baklig.
Gonzalez unable to hit. Kamay climbing up the ladder for the tap. 2-on-1. Villamor to Ceniza. Tied game at 67.
And right now, KNZL running like a well-oiled machine. Now playing like they're all friends.
Finally.
Finally.
Ironically, Coach Mark Herrera's system is almost based on isolation plays. But for this game, team basketball has been the cornerstone of their offense.
Well, they've been playing to their strengths, pushing the pace, getting a lot of shots to go from the three-point area, and of course, Earl Ceniza just starting to heat up.
But a chance to stop the noise. Ambrosio makes that first one. Lead is back with Smash.
The question now for KNZL, do they have enough gas to last another 44 seconds and 10 minutes in the fourth quarter?
It's going to be up to their second unit, specifically Cian Golioso and Ross Palad. They have big responsibilities as Ceniza will fire. Bingo! Bombs away for the Pearl.
I don't even understand how he is getting those open looks.
Zoilo will try to answer back. He won't. Gonzalez using his height.
That is what Smash Basketball tends to forget, especially here in the third quarter. They are the bigger team.
Kamay inside. He won't score.
That's a technical. Unnecessary for Gonzalez as he already got the block. He got the stop, but still had to do a stare down on Kamay.
So KNZL will make them pay.
There shouldn't even be any satisfaction for getting the block because easily as 3 to 4 inches on Chris Kamay.
Another angle on what happened. Kamay will make him pay at the line.
The other thing, they were attacking on transition without Kamay in the front court. Although eventually Kamay did miss that free throw.
4.5 seconds remaining for Smash to create an opportunity. Tibang has the basketball. He runs. 2 seconds. Tibang unable to end this one with a bang. Nevertheless, they'll end this one with a 1-point lead. A very thin margin for Smash Basketball, but they'll take that any time of the day. 71 to 70. Again, Smash Basketball hanging on to that thin margin as we're waiting for the start of our fourth period. We'll be back for more. Back to the action right here. And if you're wondering what happened, this guy happened. The Pearl, Earl Ceniza making waves. And of course, without the help of his teammates, Joshua Villamor, Reed Baclig, Eris Romero, Christian Kamay. Of course, everybody chipping in contributions.
Interestingly, they did outscore Smash Basketball 38-19 in that third quarter, and most of which coming from the three-point bombs coming from Earl Ceniza.
Meanwhile, Flores looking to make a difference. Flores stopping Kian Zelfon. Three-point game.
Let's see now if they can activate their defense against Smash Basketball, giving up too many points in the third quarter.
Kamay will attack, sends it outside. Oh, Baclig losing it. Villamor hustles for it. Outside to Romero for three. Romero unable to hit. Tibang in transition. Tibang inside. Swiped away by Kamay. And possession will actually go back to Kianzel.
So again, this is something that they weren't doing that much in that third quarter, pressuring the basketball.
Villamor unable to receive it properly. Here comes Smash. Tibang. Oh my goodness. Razzle dazzle. Vincent Tibang with a bang.
And a great response here to start our fourth and final quarter. Getting that lead back up to 5. Opportunity to extend it further to 6.
Another look. Wraparound move. Vincent Tibang with an illusion.
So you have an illusion backcourt for Smash Basketball.
Make it a 6-point difference. As Golioso checks in the game. He'll have to help the starting 5. Kamay will miss. Smash once again. Tibang. Drop pass. Great passing inside. But it goes out of bounds.
Case of overpassing that time for Smash Basketball. 2 opportunities already to go up for the basket, choosing to pass.
So Kianzel's 5, the present and the future. Cian Golioso, of course, rookie of the Kings, and the others, veterans. Villamor, no good. Kamay, no foul call. Villamor gets it back. But there's a foul.
Really important for Kenzel to establish themselves inside, because Earl Ceniza has forced the Smash Basketball defense to have to scramble outside, so it's going to create some opportunities for guys like Villamor and Kamay.
First one is in for Joshua Villamor. He'll go 2 out of 2. Lead is at 4. Flores running the play. Agustin outside of Flores to the other side, Tibang. Zoilo inside to Agustin. Outside again. Tibang attacks. Tibang. Not that time. Agustin still won't fall. Here goes Earl. High pickup. And one. The Pearl continues to do some damage.
Well, after struggling in the first half, Earl Ceniza has just really woken up here. Look at that, just maneuvering his way, getting the 2 points.
Ceniza has been ridiculous for Smash Basketball. And that shot cuts that lead of Smash to just 1 point. A very thin margin. Looks like Zoilo will bring it down. Smash looking for options. Zoilo outside for 3. That's big.
That's one way to douse fire in this searing rally coming from Kianzel.
Villamor attacks. Villamor,
Oh.
much needed basket. Joshua Villamor doing what he does best.
And this is really the effect of Earl Ceniza getting hot from the outside. As this should be an interesting time for Kianzel as they've gone to the bench. Golyoso and Dawis in the game right now.
Hopefully they can help their older brothers. Flores, nowhere to go, drops it. Agustin, short stab is good.
That's a tough shot and big basket to extend the lead to 4.
Golyoso with the basketball. Villamor, crossover move. Oh, what a pass! Kamay just couldn't finish. Nevertheless, he's gonna have a chance at the line.
Very smart basketball being played right here. Joshua Villamor has scored in a couple of incursions already in the 4th quarter. This time, attracting the defense, leaving it behind for Chris Kamay.
Kamay has been phenomenal this game in terms of defense. First one is good.
I like how you backtracked and said excellent on defense while he was taking the free throw. That's why he made the first one.
That's again our logic here. He goes 2 out of 2 because I don't mention anything about his free throws.
Cuts the lead down to 2 points. This should be an exciting wind-up.
Flores against Dawis. Inside, great passing. Ambrosio won't disappoint.
Right now, Smash Basketball playing very smart, pounding that ball inside. No touches for Earl Ceniza the past few sequences.
Perhaps letting him rest. Nevertheless, Kianzel keeping themselves alive. Dawis, kaboom! Brandon Dawis contributes.
These young guns are ready for the big moments.
Stolen by Golyoso. Dawis, 5-point swing for Brandon.
Coming from the steal and the save from Golyoso. Passing it to Ceniza and Dawis with the finish.
Don't look now. Kianzel with the lead. Zoilo, not that time. Dawis saves it. Flores gets it back. Kamay picks it up. Flores lost it. Again, Kianzel with a 1-point lead. As this Senior King starting 5 effective. Meanwhile, Zoilo on the other side fumbles the lane and then gives it away. A lot of errors for Zoilo. Meanwhile, Ceniza lets them pay. Or well, luckily for Zoilo, that's a traveling violation.
Let's see how much fuel is left in the tank here for Earl Ceniza. Was not been given a rest the entire second half.
Here we go. A chance for Smash to take the lead. As Kianzel hangs on to this very thin difference. Off the back iron was that 3-point shot of Rafael Flores. Could have been big. Kianzel dodging a bullet right there. Golyoso, the young gun. The basketball in his hands. Golyoso losing his defender. No good on the shot though. Zipagan, no good. Gets it back. The fake, still not falling. And a foul called I believe that's on Garcia.
If you're just joining us now, at halftime it was a huge 20-point advantage for Smash Basketball, 52 to 32, and right now it's Kianzel now up by a solitary point, continuing to be the believers in this game.
Freebies coming up for Brandon Dawis. Had a 5-point swing a while ago. Very instrumental to this Kianzel attempt in getting the W. However, first one is no good for Dawis because I talked about him in a positive light. There you go.
And that's the way to counteract it, is talking about yourself jinxing the first one.
Yeah. Or perhaps I should just shut up.
Well, that could work too, but you wouldn't be doing your job if you do that.
Villamor saves it. Zipagan attacks the bump on Kamay. Great job for Kamay not fouling. Villamor to Golioso. 2 points for the Believers.
Man, this is an entirely different squad playing in the second half for Kianzel.
Flores inside, drops it to Garcia. Basket and one. Smash catching a lucky break. A chance to make it a 3-point play. Garcia will go to the line.
Definitely a foul on Dawis from behind with the push. Out of position, just pushing Garcia, who was able to make the basket.
And the line. Garcia makes it. It's a 1-point game again. Under 3 minutes remaining. The Pearl going to work. But everybody on him. They know what he can do.
The problem is Smash is already in the penalty, so that's going to mean 2 free throws for Earl Ceniza.
Ceniza with an Earl eruption this game. First one was no good though. Second one. I should perhaps just shut my mouth during those moments.
Well, he did try to coast for the early part of the fourth quarter, but looks like he's ready to close this one out for Kianzel.
Tibang, no good. Zoilo has the basketball. Garcia drops it. Basket and one. Tibang with a bang.
Once again, pushes his team closer. Down by just 2 points with 2.5 remaining. And this time it's Garcia with the nice pass.
3-point play for Vince Tibang. 1-point lead for Smash. Ceniza attacks. Ceniza. Earl with an Earl eruption.
No one there to stop the basketball once again.
At that time, Rafael Flores comes up big with a shot plus a foul. Crucial basket for Flores and friends.
Well, I think now it's going to be between Flores and Ceniza. A slow step, the high finish plus the foul.
First one goes in for Rafael Flores. The only one, rather, giving his squad a 2-point lead. Golioso goes right. Looks like Golioso will end this game being entrusted with that point guard spot. Ceniza losing it. Golioso, great hustle from the young gun. He'll bring it down. Ceniza for a 3. Not that time. Villamor out of nowhere.
Getting on a ladder, getting that putback, ties the game at 92.
Flores to Zoilo. Tibang was asking for it. Zoilo for 3. No good. Flores gets it back. Smash with a lead.
That's a great sub as Dawi's checking into the game in place of Dawi's.
(94-92). 2-point lead for Smash Basketball as Reed Buckleague, yes, checks in the game. Buckleague, high pass to Golioso. Golioso almost lost it. Kamay was asking for it. Villamor. Oh, bad turnover. And Tibang will put it in. Bad sequence for Kianzel. It's a 2-possession game. Smash in the driver's seat. And a timeout is called by Coach Judah Villamor. We'll be back for more. Back to the action here. Under a minute remaining. Villamor getting fouled. Kianzel needs that one.
So that's actually best case scenario for Kianzel. Getting to the line with Smash Basketball already in the penalty, so opportunity to add points on the board with the clock stop. But Villamor will miss on the first.
That's going to be a crucial miss. Kianzel shall be tested. 1 out of 2. It's a 1-possession game. Kianzel very much alive. All they have to do is play defense. And they have a lot of gunners from 3-point land.
Would like to see Smash Basketball get that ball inside. There's been no solution so far for Kianzel.
Zoilo for 3. No go. Rebound by Saniza. But Tibang active hands.
Now they have to foul. They have to foul.
It seems like it's not the plan for them. But they'll get the steal. Picked up by Kamay. Out of bounds. They have time to put something up.
Crazy sequence, and Kianzel will have the opportunity to map out one final play to send this game into overtime.
Coach Judah Villamor calling a timeout. 4 seconds remaining. And I'm sure you know who that ball will go to.
Oh yeah, most definitely you're gonna, or at the very least, use Seniza as a decoy. I'm not sure what they're trying to review here, but as opposed to trying to map out a play, they're trying to have some clarifications here.
And that is again the Mark Herrera brand of basketball. No plays, just literally playing.
Yeah, well, pretty much these players know exactly where to position themselves on the floor. So it's really important to have players who have very high basketball IQ, who can read and react properly in any situation. But at this point, you're going to expect at least a touch from Earl Seniza, but be wary of guys like Reed Buckleague and even Dawis, who I believe has checked into the floor. And I see Aries Romero actually trying to map out a play.
That's actually very refreshing to see. Because again, he didn't play, the past minutes because Cian Glioso took his place. So right now, we might argue Cian Glioso is more skilled than him, but he's more experienced, that's for sure.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide in putting in Romero. Okay, they don't. So anyway, again, as Bill Velasco would put it, the most dangerous player on the floor is the guy inbounding the basketball. So don't be surprised if they give the ball back to Reed Baklig. Look at them lining up on one side of the floor.
Here we go. There's gonna be big Dawis in the game as well. Baklig will trigger the inbound from the sideline. Gonzalez bothering him. Senize asking for it. Dawis for the tie. In and out. That was a great play. But Dawis just couldn't make it. Heartbreaking loss for Kianzel. On the other hand, Smash Basketball dodging a bullet right here, escaping with a 3-point lead.
Well, coming from halftime, I didn't expect the game to go down to the wire. 52 to 32 at the half, finish at 96 to 93.
Our move of the game. That sequence coming from 3 Smash players. Flores finding the open guy inside. Zipagan finding the open Ambrosio. And those are the kind of plays that makes a team win. And of course, Smash Basketball enjoying said win. Our final score?
96 to 93. Escaping with a victory is Smash Basketball.
Yes, our player of the game. It's this guy, the veteran. Again, professional basketball player, Rafael Flores. Carrying Smash Basketball, contributing big time to this win. As now we turn it over to our courtside reporter, Jana Zaplan, for our best player of the game interview.
Thank you, Cholo and Coach Noy. I have with me Rafael Flores with 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Grabe, intense yung laban. It was a close game up until the 4th quarter. Nakita ko yung passion mo pareha sa opensa at sa depensa. Ano yung nasa isip mo habang naglalaro lang during that pressured moment?
Kasi nung halftime, di ba, natambakan namin sila. Tapos nung third quarter, nag-petics kami, nagkahawa-hawaan kami. So nagalit si coach. So as a captain ball ng team, sabi ko kailangan ko mag-step up para sa team namin. Yun lang, sabi ko sa kanila, depensa muna kami. Darating din yung offense sa amin.
So after that, anong tingin mo nag-work out for you sa team chemistry and sa communication after that halftime?
Yun lang, nag-usap lang kami sa depensa. Nung una kasi nagsisiyan kami, tapos lahat malungkot kasi hindi nakaka-shoot. Tapos yun lang, nag-usap-usap lang kami, nagtulungan din kami para makuha namin yung panalo.
I'm sure this tested all of your relationship, but do you want to thank anyone right now?
Thank you sa Smash Basketball, kay Ate Luisa, Kuya James, kay Coach Richmond, sa mga teammates ko, sa family ko, tapos sa girlfriend ko, mansa rin namin ngayon, para sa kanya.
Apaka-sweet naman. And of course, congratulations once again, Rafael Flores, and to your team. Back to you, Cholo and Coach Noy.
Thank you very much, Jana. That is again our best player of the game, the experienced and sweet Rafael Flores, again carrying Smash Basketball, helping them big time gain this dub. As Smash Basketball climbs up the ladder in the standings 4-1, and he signs that official Spalding Basketball, the official ball of our NDSL basketball series. There we have it, our 5th game, but the fun isn't over. One more grind for everybody here at the Met Park Sports Center. Our last game features the MLQU Stallions and the San Gabriel Seraphs in the 25 and under division. This has been Cholo Pangilinan, Coach Noy Africa, and Jana Zaplan at the sidelines. And this is the one and only NDSL basketball series.